Hello, everybody. It is a blessing and a pleasure to be here today, and welcome to the next installment of Lady Flint's show. Oh, I pray that you all are well and blessed and highly favored. You guys, today is even more of a blessing because we're on the radio on 4 Diaspo TV WSVU 960 AM will be on tonight. So that's Port St. Lucie in West Palm Beach. But guess what, y'all? I have another queen here today, beautiful as can be. I am so very proud of her. I told her that I would have her back. I am a woman of my word. I call her Casey and the Sunshine Band because she is full of sunshine, full of knowledge and all that good stuff. So today we welcome Kenya, like the country. Hey. Cheney Madison. Yay! Welcome. Thank you for being here. I love you so much and I'm so proud of you. And yes, y'all, this is my cousin. Yes.
Thank you.
That makes it even better.
Thank you. Yes, it's such a pleasure to be back with you again. Thank you so much for inviting me back.
Of course.
Sometimes I get invited back places and sometimes I do not. So it's a pleasure and I appreciate it.
I love you.
I appreciate it so much.
Oh, you deserve it.
Yeah, you been all right?
I've been good. I can't complain. God is so good.
Good.
Don't get me preaching. If he doesn't do anything else for me, he's done enough.
He's done enough. He's been good enough. I know that's right.
Yes. So let's just dive in. The last time you were here, you were telling us about your programs and all of this wonderful stuff that you're doing, which I think is awesome. Because first, let me just say, you are so talented, and I love the fact that you were born and raised in Delray Beach. Mm-hmm. You went away to school, and I said this the last time, but you came back and you gave back to the community with all of this talent. You could have went anywhere in the country and you could have done the same thing. Yeah. And I am so blessed and honored that you are here and you're plugging in to where things need to be plugged in. You know, like you talked about the children that, don't have things that they need and the stuff that they're going through at home. So tell me, what has changed? You told me you launched a new program as well. We're going to get to that, but tell me what has changed and what have you been up to?
All right, so just a little bit of background for those who may be watching for the first time. Go back and watch that first video. Go back and watch that first interview because I was speaking very specifically about Healthier Delray Beach, which is very near and dear to my heart. It's an initiative that is a part of the Healthier Together communities of Palm Beach County. We all focus on a health disparity that is prominent in our community. For Delray, it was behavioral health. It is behavioral health. And we spent 10 years cultivating that space as an initiative, community-driven, community-led advocacy, awareness, and action space where families can get what they need to thrive. It's not over. It's not done. We've just kind of turned the page so that we can begin to write a new chapter. And in steps, Kaleidoscope Solutions & Co. That's my consulting work, and it's just budding, it's just beginning, but I'm really excited about it, and I feel like it's a blessing for me to be able to kind of take that pathway to still do the work that I'm passionate about, serve the people that I love so dearly, but call it mine. Healthier Delray Beaches was a community initiative. It belonged to community. It still belongs to community. But Kaleidoscope Solutions & Co. allows me to kind of spread my wings a bit and move around outside of the Delray Beach focus, outside of the Delray Beach community, even beyond Palm Beach County and even beyond the United States. Kaleidoscope Solutions & Co. is global. It is global.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
And we need that. It's I don't know if I'm speaking outside the box or out of turn, but what I'm understanding of it, you're teaching people how to eat properly and get healthier and move and all of this kind of stuff. And my thoughts on that is I definitely need to do it. I walk. I'm not going to run unless you put an iguana behind me. Then that's a different story.
It's a lot of those around
Oh
here.
my gosh, man, they're everywhere. They've taken over. But I see this because it's all this stuff is in the foods these days. You know, when our grandparents and aunts and everything was coming up, you know, I know my mother, they lived off the land. You know, they made their clothes from croaker sacks and all this kind of stuff, and they raised their own chickens and hens and all of this stuff. We got the eggs. So today it's just a little different. It's so much preservatives and everything like that. So, you know, so this is what you're doing, teaching us more about eating healthier. And is this exactly what?
Thank you for asking. So it encompasses a whole lot. Think about the spectrum of the human experience. We have healthy eating, we have healthy mindsets, we have healthy behaviors, the alignment of mind, body, and spirit, right? So as individuals, it's important that we take a look at ourselves as a bit of a mirror image of God's creation. As above, so below. So you take your brain and you take your gut, and they're kind of mirror images of each other.
Right.
What happens in the gut starts in the brain, and vice versa. So there's a I mean, I can get clinical and technical on you and talk about the vagus nerve and how our digestive system impacts our behaviors and things of that nature, and the foods that we eat, even the air that we breathe, all the way over to the thoughts that we think. They become our behaviors. They become the lifestyle that we live. And if you're not careful, it does impact others. Sometimes we live in a very narrow focus of what I do only impacts me, but that's not true. We are part of this, you know, God's creation. We are part of an ecosystem. We are part of community. And what you do does impact me, and what I do does impact you, especially when it comes to our environment. So as a strategist, I am focused on individual wellness. I'm focused on community-based wellness. I am focused on even systems, institutions, organizations, and how they have healthy practices. Half of our challenges exist in the workplace, exist in the workforce. We spend so much of our day in a workplace with people that we do not live with, but they influence our lives. They influence our thoughts. And so it's about intentionality and strategies to be intentional so that we can just be healthier human beings and create a healthier world. We have to be responsible for the generations that are coming up behind us. We talk a lot about the past and how we grew up, but we have to be mindful that there are children growing up in our community, in our households, in our family that are watching us, and they're creating their healthy or unhealthy habits as well. And parents, families in the home, it starts in the home. They set the tone.
Of course.
What you see, you know, in your elders and what you see in your youth is a direct reflection of what is happening in our world.
Exactly, because I remember my mother used to say, and this, I'm just piggybacking on what you just said. She used to say, you know, children learn what they live.
They do.
You know, and I used to say, okay, you know, and I'm thinking because I'm naive and I'm young and didn't have a lot of exposure, you know, and I'm saying to myself, but what could go what are these people doing? You know, this is what I'm saying. But you know, my mother used to say all kinds of people make a world. So something may be normal for me, and I see something, you know, going on like how you said you had to deal with, you know, with the children in their situations. That wasn't normal for me, but I had to realize that everybody is not cut from the same cloth when it comes to that. You know, so that's why I was taught never to look down on people, because she used to say you don't know what people's circumstances are. So, you know, and you're absolutely right. We have to work together. You know, we work together and try to do the better for the good. And I just love the fact. Now, you launched this when? When did you actually launch this?
The first part of this year, 2025. It's brand new.
Wow.
Yeah, brand new.
Because we didn't talk about this. I
don't even know that it was fully conceptualized. It was just a seed.
In your seed.
Yeah, it was a seed in the belly.
Wow.
It was a seed in the belly. And it had to germinate for a little bit. And when I was ready to give birth to it, I prayed over it. I gave it to God just the same way that we do when we birth our children, birth our babies. I did the same thing with Kaleidoscope. And one day at a time, it has come together to be a bit of a tapestry of all of my skill sets. When I was here the last time, I talked a lot about my work with the school district,
Right.
and how I spent 19 years with the school district of Palm Beach County serving families as an educator, a school counselor. Went on to be one of the developers of the school district's Department of Behavioral and Mental Health.
Yeah.
That's proud work for me.
It should be.
That was real proud work for me. Transitioned out into community, led Healthier Delray Beach as a senior director for 6 years. It was promised to be a 5-year initiative, and we took it the distance to 10. So that speaks volumes. And as I'm a woman of a certain age now, and I've got a teenager.
You're young.
I've got a teenager. Oh, okay. And I'm looking at him and imagining what his next steps were going to look like. And I said, I've got to set another example. He's watched his mother be a fierce advocate his whole life. My son has vivid memories of growing up in a schoolhouse. You know how some people who are preachers' kids, they say, I was raised up underneath the pews.
Ooh,
My
Lord.
son has been in every single room, classroom, media center, computer lab, cafeteria that I have ever been in at any school or any campus.
But that's good, though.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
I'm grateful for that now, especially because his father has transitioned and is looking down and from heaven.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. I had no clue.
Thank you. We
Oh,
lost
God.
Patrick in 2021,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and we miss him every day.
I
It's a
know.
significant loss. We miss him every day. But a charge to keep. I
I
have
have.
a God to glorify.
Girl,
And
you better know it.
so I take that and I take it seriously, and I'm not quite ready to retire, not quite ready to
Got
throw
work
in the
to do.
towel. There's plenty of work to do, and I said, well, Lord, send me on my next mission, and here I am.
And it's a wonderful mission.
Thank you.
I mean, and you
Thank
had great training. I mean, you came from a good seed, a good
Thank you.
home, a good household, and they did that.
Yeah.
You know, your parents, they did that.
Thank
so,
you.
yeah.
Shout out to my mama and my daddy. Shout
I
out to
love you, cousin.
Yeah,
I
shout out
love
to
you
my mama
guys.
and my daddy. They did all right.
They did.
And my
No.
brother too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, hi. We went to school together.
Yeah. Now I feel like I gotta call roll my sister, my cousin BFF, all of them, everybody.
You could do that.
Yeah.
You could do that. So I just love this story. I mean, it's amazing. So for those who are not aware, like she spoke about, she was in the school board for 19 years. I want you to reiterate and tell them how you got started. Those who have not seen the first video, please go back and watch it, by the way. But tell them how you got started of, you know, being in the community, going to school, and you decided to go to school and come back. And how did you get in the school board system?
All right, so that's a funny story because I really did not have any intentions on moving back home when I was a student at FAMU. I was there in the mid to late 90s, and I've always been a big dreamer, and so I wanted to live in a big city. I wanted to live somewhere that was completely different from Delray Beach. Being a generational resident,
Right.
having been raised by my grandfather also, who came out of sharecropping in Georgia.
Yes.
I lived a certain lifestyle, right? We lived off of the land, grew our own vegetables, ate anything that grew out of the ground. My granddaddy sold his stuff at market,
Jeez.
all of that.
Oh my
And
gosh,
so I am a country girl at heart, but I've always had this vision of living a different kind of lifestyle. So in my time in Tallahassee, I had this vision of moving away, establishing life far, far away, but God had a different plan for me. Came back home because they were opening Village Academy. Village Academy on the south side of Delray is a community-based school. It was something that our community advocated for because we were being bused to a community that wasn't always welcoming to us.
Of course.
Right? And so the children who looked like us needed to have representation in front of them of what it looks like to succeed, what it looks like to be a person of color and have your dreams come true, what it looks like to be a person of color and say, I'm going to be somebody, instead of having someone speak down on you and tell you what you're not going to be.
Exactly.
So I started my teaching career the first year that Village Academy opened. Realized that as much as I loved kids, I did not enjoy being a classroom teacher. So I went back and got a double master's in every counseling that them people offered at Barry University. Okay. Because, again, I love kids, but the classroom confinement just didn't suit me very well. But what I learned throughout my studies and my counseling studies and also my community-based work, because I ran a parallel career for a number of years as a school counselor and a clinician through Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County agencies doing like in-home family therapy, mainly families who had court-ordered cases that were either in crisis, had been in crisis, or near crisis. And you learn a lot real fast. You learn a lot about the dynamic needs that exist within a home from, like I said, generations. If you have grandparents that are raising grandchildren, sometimes the child or the children's parents were in the home. Sometimes they were incarcerated. Sometimes they were, just out living a wild life. Mm-hmm. And you learned a lot.
Or dead, unfortunately.
Right. So that's really my trajectory in terms of school-based and school district-based work, and how I got to have that passion for community-based work is because I knew with the school district, my hands are tied. You have to abide by the policies,
rules,
right? And most of the time, they do kind of tie your hands a little bit, and they do muzzle you a bit, because it's a system that says we've got to educate all, and we've got to educate everyone fairly, and you've got to stick to the rules. I'm a bit of a rule breaker. I deviate a little bit. I'm okay with that. So I found a bit more freedom in community-based work. And I also got down to the spoon scraping bottom of the root cause of some of the trauma that we were seeing,
and
the violence that was being experienced.
Because they're acting out of what's going on in their home. That's normal behavior for them.
Even when I was working in the school district, I was not one who was afraid to go out and do home visits. If it was within my scope.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Yeah, if it was in my scope of oversight, and a home visit was required, I didn't back away from that. I went and knocked on doors. I'm the person who called every number on that screen until I got a caring adult to say, hey, I'm calling related to so-and-so and such, and until I spoke to somebody who actually cared and was going to show up and make a difference in that child's life. I couldn't do it alone. And so I took that same mindset, that same integrity behind the work that I do, and I transferred it over into community-based work. And it's kind of landed me here. So like I said, 5 years were the intentions for Healthier Delray Beach, but we took it to 10, which is a huge win. And community led the way the whole way. And I just happened to be the director, the face of it for a bit. And so now what I can do is take all that learning, those 25 years of learning, a little bit more now, and take it and turn it into strategies to help people, individuals, families, groups of people, organizations, nonprofits, for-profits, systems, institutions, humanity.
Right, because
across
I believe,
the globe. Nothing is new under the sun.
That's right, across the globe, because each person, each child is different. They got different situations and circumstances. And I love the fact that you took the time out to call until you got someone and spoke with them and said, look, what's going on in so-and-so's life, they're acting out, blah, blah, blah. And see, you have to get to the root of the cause and the problems, because if you just, like you have a cut and it's bleeding and you just put a Band-Aid over it and it gets infected, you got to clean that infection out and get to the root of the problem and make sure that it heals properly. And it's a process. but you cared enough to break down those walls and bury. And some of them probably weren't living in decent neighborhoods. You know, they could have been homeless, anything. But for you to sit here and tell me this is what you did, babe, you a superwoman.
Thank you.
You Wonder Woman.
One of my, thank you. That means a lot.
You're welcome. Seriously.
But one of my favorite quotes or sayings is, "You must heal yourself so you don't bleed on the people who did not cut you."
And
heal yourself.
If you don't heal from what made, I say it like this, but it's the same thing. If you don't heal from whatever made you bleed, you're gonna bleed on somebody else.
Yes.
And you definitely have, and
Yes.
it's a process.
Yes.
Because all of us have gone through something. Some people just a little bit more degree, and sometimes people don't heal from what happened to them. Some people never recover.
And that's one of my integrity points, is making sure that if we're talking about trauma and we're talking about trauma-informed care, that we're also talking about healing-centered solutions. We can't
do one without the other.
You can't talk about trauma without giving it a solution. I believe that every challenge has a solution, even if it's one that hasn't been discovered yet. And that's what Kaleidoscope is about.
And I love that.
Co-creating, and looking at ways that we can just get a handle on some of the things that have really gotten away from us, like a runaway train. I mean, we're living in a society here in 2025. I don't even want to bring in the political tone of it all, but look at all
the social medias too. You know?
Well, I do. I take a time out from social media because, one, social media kind of paints a image of the world that is false, and sometimes people get caught up in that false narrative, and it does promote false intimacy too. Like, you know, people can be your friend on social media, but walk right past you in real life. In real life.
Yeah, in real life, and don't even speak.
Okay, but every day you liking and commenting on something that I said on social media. I think that's weird, and I don't participate in it a lot.
It's past weird.
But what I enjoy about it is the sense of connectedness and the sense of community that can be built through social media channels. I will give it that. But when we look at the condition of our world, we really do live in a microwave popcorn society, and everybody wants everything lickety split and fast, and they have forgotten the integrity that goes into slow cooking, you know, a Sunday dinner.
From collard greens, baby.
Okay.
Slow cook them.
Slow cook them.
But I say that, you know, I tell people, look, what you see is what you get. And what you see on social media, that is who I am. People say, oh, it may be boring or whatever, but all I want to do is just lift him up, lift that man up and sing. That's it. And inspire. You know, whatever you take from it, that's on you. And that's what I had to learn. You know, because social media can be, because now you have cyberbullying. We didn't have that, you know, when we was coming up. You just got bullied in person. Unfortunately, I can relate to that. But you got bullied in person. But now you can do it, and no one knows who you are doing it. So you got all of these things, you know, these kids are looking at how many likes they're getting and all this. I've heard kids say that, well, they got this many likes and I need to get this many likes. So, you know, and I think what you're doing is so relevant, what you're doing today. Now, do you have a staff that helps you, or you just the to-go person?
No, it's just me, but I do function.
That's a lot to be
I function with a network. Healthier Delray Beach really expanded into a network of behavioral health supports. So alongside the Healthier Together communities, there's also providers that have private practices that are also connected.
Now, these are doctors or psychiatrists or what?
They are
whatever you need.
A bit of everything, from licensed clinicians to master's level clinicians to folks that do practice psychiatry. But even outside of that realm, there are still like coaches and mentoring organizations that are able to go into campuses and work with our students on campus. There are organizations like EJS Project, based out of Delray Beach, but has expanded to be an out of school time hub for teens that empowers them to become tomorrow's leaders. Right?
That's wonderful.
So I don't do all of that heavy lifting alone. What I do is make sure that I'm connecting folks or a group or an organization to the right fit resource.
Right. Because like you said before, everyone has different circumstances. So that's
yeah, I can't do it alone, but I do make sure that I expand the reach of our network and the wingspan of who we're serving and how they're getting connected to the resources, and make sure they get what they need.
That's wonderful, Kenya.
And I listen.
Yeah, you do. But the main thing I like, you get down in the grease, baby. You don't just see people. I said this last week or 2 weeks ago when I did our cousin Bill of seasoned ribs. You see, people see the shine, but they don't see the grind. They don't see you're up 2 and 3 in the morning, and you may get a call from somebody. I'm just assuming this is what you do. You might get a call from somebody in dire straits, dire needs, and say, "Hey, my kid is acting out, or he hasn't come home, or she hasn't come home, or whatever." And there's so much stuff going on in the world today. It's not like when we were kids. It was dangerous when we were growing up, but now it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So people don't see all the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh yeah.
They just see, oh, look at Kenya, she's over here at Pine Grove, hypothetically speaking, or she's over here at Carver Middle School or whatever, but they don't see how you had to get your stuff, your packages together. Which is I just have to show you all this.
It's a kaleidoscope. Yeah, it's a kaleidoscope.
I love that.
It blends all of the different perspectives into one.
I love it, but y'all know I use it as my rock.
That's the creative side.
But I love that. But yeah, see, they don't see you getting this. Isn't that beautiful? She brought me a tumbler and all kinds of stuff. But she has to get these things, together and get all of her information together. And she has to put it in packets or however she puts it. See, they don't see that.
Yeah.
See, they don't see you doing that. And I just had to bring that forward because, like you said, you birthed that. And you prayed about it and God put it in here. And then you birthed it out. So there's a lot, guys, that this young lady is doing. So give us all of your social medias. Where we can find you, phone numbers and everything, and then in that little minute tell us exactly what each organization it is that you're running, and we're going to call it a day.
All right. Well, if you are looking for me, if you're looking for Kenya Delray Beach, I can be found on all social platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn as Kenya Madison. Or Kenya Delray Beach. Instagram is KCM_HDB. Kaleidoscope Solutions & Co. You can find me at 561-926-3032. And my email for that is kaleidoscope, S like Sam, C like cat, the numeral 1 @gmail.com.
Wonderful, girl. I can remember all of that. Ooh.
Luckily, they're recording, and we can, edit it and put it out at the bottom or something. Put it in the comments. We'll make sure that you guys see that and can click on it. I have a digital business card as well, so I'll make sure that as this airs, that it gets embedded in the comments or in the description, so folks can really tap a button and get to me.
You're so, oh my gosh, my little cousin is. Actually, you're so blessed and wonderful. I can remember Kenya being a little girl. I ain't that much older than you. But anyway. And she was just smile all the time and so smart. And, and I mean, I am just in such awe. You are so talented.
Thank you.
You're at peace, which a lot of people need to go get them some. I'm sorry, but not being messy, but I have to say that. But this is what peace looks like. This is hard work. You are so blessed, and I love the fact that you came back to our roots, and you're giving back to the community. And like I said, for Diaspora TV, WSVU 960 AM, we will be on tonight. Please listen to WSVU 960 AM, Port St. Lucie and West Palm Beach, and follow us for Diaspora TV. And thank you, Mr. Allen and Mr. Donald, for having such a beautiful show as this. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. I love you. Give everybody my love. I love you so much.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Queen of Queens. So we're going to say good night. I love you guys, and God bless. Good night.